Hello, am I audible? If you can hear me, then you can type yes in the chat. Okay. Yeah. Hello. Hello all. So good evening. Thanks for joining. And we can wait for a few more minutes so that others can also join. Yeah. Hi. So, so we'll start in at 8:05 around. So 2 more minutes. So please type some comments that I'm audible, I'm clear, and if anybody is not getting audio, so let me know. Okay, thanks, Patil. Sorry, I'm just taking your last name as it is visible only as Patil. Okay, so 1 more minute to go. Okay, so I'm going to start. Thanks for once again, thanks all everyone for joining this session. And now let me present my screen. So once let me know once my screen is visible. Okay, okay. So this is I will share my journey, how I started with Kubernetes, then how I cleared my first certification, and how others are, I mean to say, how I have appeared for other certifications. So in Kubernetes, we have 5 certifications. So recently, CNCF and Linux Foundation launched a new program that is Kubestronaut. So a Kubestronaut is a person who is holding all the 5 certifications, and they all must be valid. So in Kubernetes, we have 5 certifications. So order is not required, but depends on the individual interest. Uh, there is no as such prerequisites to follow the certifications journey, but it depends on your interest. But if you want to really get the insights of the Kubernetes, how it works, and how we can utilize it, what are the good practices in Kubernetes where we can use it, so there is this is my understanding. So you can follow the order which I have followed. Okay, so let's start with the journey that I have followed. So this is the certification order in which you can prepare for the certifications if you want to go for all the certifications and you want to become a Kubestronaut. So this is the order that I have followed, and I would recommend to others. Okay, if you are it's not like mandatory that you have to follow the same order. You can follow some other order as well. That depends on the individual interest and capability, but this is my findings, and just to help others, I would recommend this. So I will come to the one by one for each and every certifications, and I will share my experience and how to crack that certification in the first attempt with a good score. Okay, and one more thing, in Kubernetes, score doesn't matter. In on your certification, you will get on only that you achieve these certifications. Okay, and one more thing, in Kubernetes certifications, we have 2 attempts within a year. After booking the exam, you have to appear for the exam within a year. And if you failed your first attempt, then you can go for a second attempt as well. Okay. So these are the 5 certifications, that is KCNA, Kubernetes and Cloud Native Associate. So this is a beginner level of certifications, and yeah, if we have good amount of learning resources for this specific certification, then I would recommend that one should go for CKAD. So this is a beginner level, but it's a hands-on exam, while KCNA is a MCQ based question, MCQ based certification. The third one I would recommend, you should go for a CKA certification. This is a high level certifications, so a lot of hands-on is required for it, and good practice, good debugging skills. I will cover each and every certification in detail in further slides. This is just a brief introduction. Okay, and the fourth one is the CKS, that is Certified Kubernetes Security Specialist, and the fifth one is the KCSA. So again, uh, the three are the 2, 3, and 4 are the hands-on certifications where we will get clusters and we have to solve the questions on the live clusters. And the first and the fifth, that is KCNA and KCSA, are MCQ based questions of 90 minutes. And the 2, 3, and 4, that is CKAD, CKA, and CKS, are 2 hours, 2 hours of certification exams. Okay, now I will share the what are the key points before appearing in the exam. So because this is, I'm sharing it in the beginning because it is required while we are appearing for the exam. So this is the few things that I want to share, uh, that I have observed during these my 5 certifications. So first of all, let's say you have booked your exam for 10 a.m. So inside your portal, okay, Linux portal, Linux Foundation portal, you have you can your exam launch button is enabled 30 minutes before. So don't wait that I will start at 10 a.m. only, but better I would recommend that you start your or launch your exam at 30 minutes prior, that is 9:30 in our example. Okay, so in that duration you can make yourself as comfortable. You can, and the examiner or the invigilator will take around your 10 to 15 minutes. Sometimes it depends, and there is a long waiting queue as well. Just to get the proctor on online, it will take around 5 minutes or 10 minutes, okay, sometimes. So in that time, in your half an hour time, you can relax yourself, you can make your environment comfortable. You can check your exam whether your camera is working or not, your microphone is working or not, your internet is working at your good strength or not. So these all things pre-checks you can start at your beginning, and this will make yourself comfortable. This is the most important, because if you are in a panic mode, you don't have a good internet connections at that time, you don't have power at that time, so in the meantime you can prepare for it. So as you are planning to start at 10, then might be you will your launch button is get disabled, you won't be able to appear in the exam. So that's why I'm recommending these things. Okay, you prepared a good amount of knowledge, and then you are not able to even appear for the exam, and it could be worse for those who are going for their second attempt. Okay, so these are some prerequisites, you can follow it. Okay, they would be really helpful. And don't try to read before the exam, don't try to look, because you have to make yourself comfortable. You can, it's my personal recommendation, rest up to you. I would recommend on you can quit your studying and everything at least for 1 or 2 hours, relax yourself. Okay, make yourself comfortable, and check your internet bandwidth, and always have a B plan for your internet connections. Might be some power cut, some network issues. So at least if at your home a Wi-Fi is there, then at least have a good connection of network SIM card as a B plan. If in case your network went from Wi-Fi, then you can join your exam via a hotspot. But it is highly recommended to use a Wi-Fi, and over there if you use a Ethernet cable, you will really feel a drastic change. This is I have personally observed. I have, while I was appearing for my CKS certification, I used a CKS sorry, a Ethernet cable to connect to the internet, and really my experience was very good. One more thing, the interface of Linux Foundation, while you are, or in specific, there is a PSI browser. Okay, so that is not good. If you have a good internet connection, it will slow, and you will really face a lot of challenges while you are appearing for exam. You will not able to not while you are writing, but it is lagging. You are unable to open the browser, that is Firefox. So that's why I would recommend, if it is possible, you prefer a ethernet cable, and then appear for the exam. Okay, so now let move on to the next point. So these are the key points during the exam. So this is for the hands-on exams, that is CKAD, CKS, and CKA. Okay, so make yourself familiar with the actual environment. So if you see inside your portal where you book the exam, there is, or it will ask that go for these checks. Some docs are available, policies are there, go for it. And then make yourself familiar with the environment. How, where is the text editor available, where is the terminal, and where is your Mozilla Firefox is available. Because if you are spending at least your 2 minutes or 3 minutes during the exam, you might lose 1 or 2 marks, or even a entire question as well. So make yourself familiar at the beginning in your exam. Okay, while you are in they have provided a with document with proper screenshots, and nowadays they are providing a virtual or a like a tour kind of there. You can launch it twice before appearing for the exam and make yourself comfortable with the environment. Really, it is very much required. Though you have prepared good for your exam, whether it could be CKA, CKD, CKAD or CKS, but if you are not comfortable with the environment, you are not able to use the text editor while you are copying pasting, how to copy and paste in the terminal over there. It is not like just control C and control V. There are different, they have provided different key combinations for Windows. If you are using a Windows, make yourself comfortable with that. If you are having a Mac system, make yourself comfortable with it. Try to copy and paste at the beginning of the exam, okay? And use the text editor to edit the files, okay? Text editor inside you while you go through the exam portal, okay, in the tour. Make yourself comfortable with it. Don't try to edit directly the huge files in the VI editor, okay? Rather, I would recommend copy the entire content inside the text editor, and then you can easily, because it is like a cursor is working, so you can easily navigate to any specific line very fastly, okay? It's like, but in case of VI, intention is wrong, okay? Make sure you use the good combinations of the commands of VI, like set and u, just to set the number of the lines, okay? Color, intent, okay? Make yourself comfortable with the VI editor. I'm sharing these at the beginning because later on you will you have you are comfortable with the actual exam. You can focus on solving your questions, not with the VI editor, not with the exam portal. So try to make yourself habitual with the VI editor during your practice, okay? Don't, I would recommend, don't use any IDE while you are preparing for your exam. Use, I will highly recommend, use VI editor, because that would be only available while you are appearing in the exam. Make yourself comfortable with VI editor, okay? And then okay, this is about what I would suggesting regarding the exam interface. Really, trust me, it is really required. If you need a good environment while you are appearing for the exam, these are the really tips that you should follow, okay? And make yourself comfortable and with the Kubernetes official documents, where a resource is available, how to use it, how to copy it. Because let's say I'm just taking an example of the secrets. Somewhere it is, if you're looking for the secrets, there could not be a direct example. You have to navigate to some other link, okay? So you must be already aware that where this example is available and how to use Kubernetes official documents. One more thing that I would like to highlight: in during exam you have Firefox browser, but you can't type. Give me example of secrets in Kubernetes. No, it won't work. You will have only access to a only a specific link that they have allowed, and they have during the exam they will provide the link, directly link. Let's say deployment. When you click on the deployment, it will open the Kubernetes official document of the deployment in your browser. You can't edit as we usually type in our normal browsers, okay? So this is the restrictions. So don't rely on this, just rely on the Kubernetes official documentations. Make yourself confident and comfortable with Kubernetes document only, okay? Now, and one more thing, if you want to find a specific word or a string in the Firefox browser, so this is I would want to highlight. You will get the search box at the bottom, at the bottom of the browser, okay? So if you have not configured your browser properly, might be you won't be able to find that find block or search text editor inside the browser. It is hidden because you have not enlarged your screen properly, okay? So make sure you in the prior you make comfortable with these all things. If you are, then what, during the exam you have to search the entire word manually. That will consume your time, and you might lose some time in unnecessary things. So make yourself comfortable with Firefox browser, okay? Okay, and one more thing, if you are not comfortable with any of the exam, this is about CKA, CKAD, the hands-on exam, okay, hands-on based exam. If you are if you are feeling that I am taking more than time that is required for this specific question, flag it and you can come later to on it. Okay, so if you are investing your more or major time on a single like question, then you will lose your time and you won't be able to attempt rest of the questions. Might be the question on which you are trying to attempt have less number of marks or have less priority. Later on you have major questions that you should attempt and you will get more marks, but you are struggling with the same question, you are losing your time. Okay, and time is the only key to appear, not only the key, but it is the key to crack the exam for these hands-on exam, specifically for CKA and CKS. Okay, so these, if you are spending more time on a specific question, then you would be in the trouble. Okay, so these are the few points that I have highlighted that you have to consider during your exam. Okay, now I'm taking the most common mistakes during the exam. Okay, this is I might be I have shared one of them or few of them in my previous discussion, but even though this is how I have categorized the content. Okay, if you have as I mentioned in the first point, spending more time on a single question, don't do it, avoid it. If you are not comfortable, flag it. Use this flag. It is really a good thing. Okay, flag it so that you can revisit it. If you are not flagging, then you have to scroll down each and every question and you have to go into every question, navigate into every question. That will again consume your time. That's why flag, use this feature. N- now the second point, if you haven't practiced a lot during your preparation, you will, this is my personal experience, you won't be able to clear the exam until and unless you are not comfortable that I have done enough practice. Don't appear for an exam, because you have 1 year of duration. I would not recommend that you wait for entire one duration, but make yourself that I have done enough practice, I can appear for the exam. It should be like a self assessment, that yeah, I'm comfortable, I can go for the exam, I have done ample amount of practice, now I'm good, I'm confident, then only schedule or book for the exam. Okay, make sure, if you are not have good debugging skills, then you won't be able to crack again. Because the problem is, you will, if let's say you have by any mistake, you were not, you break your kube api server, there is some problem, your kube api service is not up, then your entire cluster is down. Now even you can't do other questions as well, if the other questions are dependent on the same cluster. One more thing, in Kubernetes, like CKA and CKS, you will get different clusters. Okay, some let's say have 7 clusters for your entire exam. So if let's say on a specific cluster there are 2 questions dependent, okay, and you your kube api server is not working, then your another question is also get impacted. And even honestly speaking, I'm not sure about it, how the Linux Foundation is checking our questions, whether they are executing commands using on our Kubernetes existing Kubernetes cluster on which we have attempted our questions. So but it is a good practice, make sure your kube api server is up and running once you are done with your question. Okay, make sure, this is very important. Okay, and now, okay, let me give more insight inside the debugging skills. Okay, if you are good at your debugging skills, for sure, we are human beings, there we might make errors during exam as well, though we have practiced a lot. But if by mistake, let's say some typo, some intention error is there, then you must be quickly able to figure it out why this error occurred. You must be practiced enough so that you can get it very quickly. Don't invest much time, you don't have to spend much time during your examination. That will save your time and you can consume that time on attempting other questions. Okay, and in fourth one, make sure your kube api server is up and running once you are done with your questions. Okay, and try to verify the changes that you have done. Okay, let's say you have created a secret, then just quickly execute the command kubectl get uh, secrets in the specific namespace, and you are at the correct context, because in while you are attempting a question, you have to have switch your context. If you have forgot to switch your context and you are attempting, then might be you have created the resources in wrong cluster, wrong namespace, because all the questions almost use different namespaces. So make sure, don't forget to switch the context. Verify it while you are attempting a question. Okay. And next, as I have already shared, make yourself comfortable with the VI editor, comfortable with commands, shortcuts, how to delete, how to copy, how to paste in the VI editor. There are few parameters as well, or instructions that you can add in your bash RC. If you are okay, else you can use colon and then the command like set nu to list, to add the numbers to the line in the VI editor. Okay. And if you are not unable to use the K8 Kubernetes docs mm, smartly during your exam, you will lose your time. Okay. You must be aware from where I should follow. I can get a manifest file. And one more thing, nowadays, I have last attempt my CKA's exam on February month. Okay. And in May I have appeared for the CKAD exam. Okay. So nowadays they have, it's a ease for us. They are providing some sample YAML files, like it could be depends on the question. They provide a manifest file of deployment, so you can utilize it. Okay. You can directly make a copy of it, and then you can edit it. Okay. Sorry, you can make a backup of it, and then if it is required, the question have asked you to edit that specific file, you can make the changes on that file. It would be available on your machine itself. And make sure you take proper backups of your Kube API server, and if the question have already provided any specific YAML file, don't forget to take the backup of that file. Okay. It would be really helpful if you did something wrong and your Kube API server is not up and running, then you can at least roll back using the all actual manifest file. It could be your Kube API server or any manifest file. So really, it would be really helpful if you, let's say, if there is a pod that you have to edit, you want to add some secrets and anything, and you have deleted the pod. Now you don't have anything. You can't even create what was the image. So that's why you must, before making any changes to the any your pod or any of the resource, okay, not only a pod, I'm just taking an example, make sure you have taken a backup of it. Okay, using -o YAML and these all. Okay. And keep it on for you, keep it for yourself, so that if something went wrong, I can create the pod or the resource using this manifest file. Okay. Make yourself comfortable with copy and paste. You can follow a single convention. Either you can use your two fingers and then press copy and then select the area, then select the content, and then double click on your mouse pad and copy, and then follow the same strategy, double click on your pad, and then wherever you want to paste, you can paste it. Okay. Or you can use the either combination control shift V, control shift, depends on your operating system. For Windows it could be different, and for Mac it could be different. Okay. But yeah, I would recommend you follow a single strategy, either double click or key shortcuts. Okay. And as I already mentioned, don't forget to change the context. And now let me come to uh, most of the viewers have questions like what could be the learning resources, and how should we practice. So I have shared the learning resources that I have followed, and the environments and the Kubernetes clusters that I have used. So I will cover these all things in this slide. Okay. So first I would recommend you make yourself familiar with the Kubernetes official documents. They are really good. They have provided good questions, good examples of the specific resource. So really they are very helpful. You make yourself comfortable with it. If you need anything, you go first for this documentation. Really they are good, well arranged, and well example for each and every whatever they are trying to explain in this. Okay. And now you need Apart from it, if you want to opt any courses, there are multiple courses available online. You can go for Code Cloud. Mumshad Marambat, really, he made a good content, and others are as well. But I have followed him. It's up to you. You can choose any other schools as well with whom you are comfortable, with whose language you are comfortable, and everything. It's totally up to you. Now, let's come to other environments where you can practice. That is for if you don't have a instant Kubernetes cluster, then you can use Killer Coda. That is online. You will get a Kubernetes cluster, one node or two node, depends on the scenario, for 60 minutes. Okay, on the free version. If you go pay for this service, might you get more hours. Okay, but this is like Killer Coda is very good. It's really within a single minute they will create a Kubernetes cluster for you. Already it is already created, but they within 1 minute you will get your Kubernetes cluster, so you can try over there if you need anything instantly. Okay, and if you need a Kubernetes cluster on your local system, so Minikube is the basic one, you can start with it. Okay, and if you really want to know the entire control plane of the Kubernetes, so I would highly recommend you go with the manual installation of Kubernetes cluster using kubedm. Okay, this if at least try to create the or provision cluster manually at least once, so that you get to know how the things working, what all components are included. If something breaking, then how I can fix it. Okay, guys, is my slides are not visible? Let me come to. Okay, okay, sorry guys. Okay, is my screen visible now? Please let me know, then only I will change my tab. Anybody can comment, please. They are still they are not visible. Okay, thanks Dheeraj for the confirmation. Thanks as Patil. Okay, let me start. Okay, let me press slide. Okay, sorry for this inconvenience. Okay, yeah. So now this is I was continuing at the third point. Okay, so at least once, okay, at least once provision Kubernetes cluster using kubedm. If really good documents are available for the provisioning the kubedm. If you are guys facing any problem while you are provisioning Kubernetes cluster with kubedm, on my channel I have already created a video on it. You can follow it. Okay, I have provided my GitHub repository link. You can follow along it. Okay, might be some commands are not working because due to any upgrade, or it could be other reason as well. But while I have worked on use those commands, it was working. You can follow along with the my video. Okay, once you are comfortable with the Kubernetes cluster components and how it is working, how to fix it, then you can go for any cloud service. Okay, so these are, as we have majorly EKS and GCP. So every cloud provider has its own service. Azure provides as AKS, and AWS provides its EKS service, Elastic Kubernetes service, and GCP provides its Google Kubernetes engine. Okay, so it's up to you, depends on based on your comfortable zone and ease, you can create or provision any Kubernetes cluster on any of the resources, any of the public cloud. Okay, so it's easy. You will get you can create a free trial account, and then you can create Kubernetes clusters over there. Okay, so at least while you are preparing, you must have a running Kubernetes cluster on your local system. Okay, so that you can try whenever you want, whatever you want. You have entire privilege. You can add everything on nodes, on your cluster, on your master node, on your worker nodes. Yeah, in case of cloud services like AKS, EKS, or GKE, you don't have access to your control plane nodes, or you can say master nodes. They are capped at their end. So that's why I am recommending first you start with the local setup, and then you can go for any of the online service or cloud services. Okay, and yeah, as someone have opt for the public course available, that is like Code Cloud from Mumshad Manambat or any other instructor, don't copy and paste the commands directly while you are appearing for the or in the labs. Try to type by your hands. Make yourself what mistakes you are committing. Make yourself confident enough with the commands. This is the command. Use the tabs. Okay, use that auto tab, auto completion. Okay, nowadays in the questions, sorry, in during the exam, auto tab is also available. Okay, so use tabs. You make yourself fast with the commands. You rely on the commands. Let's say you can quickly create a manifest file of a deployment of a pod, of a service. Okay, you can create a service of a deployment, okay, from using the command line only. So you must be well versed with the kubectl command, if as it would be really helpful while you are appealing for the exam. Okay, so I would recommend, please don't copy and paste while you are going for any of the instructor's lab. Type by your hand. Don't worry if you are making wrong, if you are making mistakes, it would be good for you. I'm say everybody hate mistakes, but while you are preparing, it's my experience, it's really helpful. It's really helpful actually. It your own mistakes are making you, okay, you are getting benefit of it. If in case you made any mistake during your exam, based on your practice and experience, you can figure it out quickly in during your exam, and that will save your time. Okay, and now let's say you follow a lab of any of the instructor or any questions, then play with that question. Try to break the resources, Kubernetes resources, then try to fix it. You know how to fix it, how, just by looking at the error message, you must be able to quickly check it out. What was the error, what is the error, how should I debug it within the minimal time. So that will come with the practice only. Play with the questions, play with the scenario, try to create your own scenarios. Okay, so this is the best way to appear for these exams. And really these are hands-on exams, so it's not like a theoretical exam. At least CKA, CKAD, and CKS, these are hands-on time. And what I have observed during these exams, it's all about your time. It's not like, let's assume you failed the exam, or anyone of the have failed the exam. It's not like that he is not good at Kubernetes. He don't, as of now, he don't have enough expertise at Kubernetes. This is the time. He is not fast enough at debugging at what is the problem. He cannot solve that problem within the minimum time. You can solve all those questions after your exam as well. Okay, but it's about the time, it's about the fastness, it's about your correctness, it's about your accuracy. So this is what is being analyzed during your exam. Okay, and make yourself comfortable with Kube API server. Try to create scenarios where you can break the Kube API server, and try to fix it by your own. Look at the error message, make yourself already prepared. If this error message is popping up, then this is the problem, this is the way. How should I approach this, how, from where I should start my debugging or to fix it. So try to break it, make some errors in the kube manifest files that is available on etc kubernetes manifest and then kube api server. Try to copy it, try to take a backup of it, and then break the kube api server and then restore it. Okay, if you are not able to restore from the live, then copy the backup that you have to how we have to do it. Okay, sometimes if during the exam it happens, you are doing things correct, but you have to move out the kube api server from the directory, that is etc kube api server, etc kubernetes manifest. Move out the file, entire move out from to some other location, and then move back the file. Then kubelet will create a new pod of it, okay, instead of restarting it. So you can follow this, try to observe these changes, so that will really helpful. As I'm sharing with you, please try to follow this, it will be really helpful. Kube api service is not working, everything is not working, at least for a specific cluster. You can't go ahead with further questions, and apart from it, it will impact your psychology, it will impact you during your exam. Your performance will go down because you will be in a panic state. To avoid this, please play around with this kube api server, and on make yourself comfortable with the YAML file. Okay, you must be know about comfort what each and every element in this YAML file. What is dictionary, what is array, what is list, uh, and where which component will come if something. Usually you will also realize while you are preparing for your certifications, you will make indentation errors and things will won't work. Then based on the error messages, try to fix it. That's why it would be really helpful if you have a good understanding of YAML. Okay, you can use some online editors for YAML, they are available. You can uh, play around it, things you can make dictionaries, you can create list. Okay, in this way play around it, make yourself throughout this journey. It will be really helpful if you have a good understanding on YAML and in the entire DevOps as well. I'm just taking one more minute to this YAML. Most of them of my viewers or are belongs to a DevOps family or DevOps role. So over there, DevOps we widely work with YAML. It is used in Ansible, it is used in Kubernetes, it is used in our pipelines, CI/CD pipelines. Okay, so make yourself comfortable with this. It will be really helpful. You will enjoy the things. You will easily fix the things, errors just by your own. Okay, and make sure this is the ninth number point is really important. Okay, make yourself comfortable with the manifest file of pod and a deployment, because what I have personally observed, that in questions in the kubernetes official documentations, the examples are based on the pod manifest file, but while in you are appearing for the exam, they are based on the deployment. Now what I did in while I was practicing, I was not able to make the things according or compatible to the deployment. I have just copy pasted the content from the pod manifest file in that inside the deployment, but they won't work. Deployment file have a different structure, and a pod manifest file have a different structure. So make yourself, I'm just taking an example, let's say annotations. Okay, it is an example of from CKS certifications. Okay, just an example you can avoid, but over there we have to add a annotation for app armor on a at the pod level. But if you are not good or comfortable with these manifest files of pod and deployment, then usually what we did and what I also did, I have added the annotation at the deployment level, deployments. Okay, they were not implemented to the pods. To add those annotations, I have to add that inside the pods manifest okay, pod section. So make sure. So in this session it's not possible to cover the entire scenario, but this is just a brief of gist of it. So try to play around with it, play around with it. Okay, try to create the things first with the pod manifest file and then implement the same thing with the deployment. or even if you are good, you can try with the daemon set as well. Play with it, play around it. Okay, now I'm just taking one by one each and every certifications. Okay, what in this specific certification I will cover, are the learning resources I have used, how I prepared, what is the how you can prepare for it. Okay, these all things I will try to cover in this. Okay, let me check once, is anyone have any questions. Will I will take the questions at the end. Okay. 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 So the first one is the KCNA, that is Kubernetes and Cloud Native Associate. So this is a beginner level of certifications. You can start with it, but and it is a MCQ based questions, MCQ based certification exam, which of 60 questions and 90 minutes. You will get have enough time. You can even finish it. When I have appeared for it, I have done my exam within 30 minutes. So, but that was because I am already have certifications like CKA, CKAD, and CKS. So, if you have good understanding of these certifications, then you can easily uh, crack it. And it will not only cover on the Kubernetes part, it will ask some cloud computing and Docker, and these all things it will cover. You can go for the its description, where inside the Linux Foundation website, uh, the source exam curriculum, you can go for it. But it is easy, MCQ based. If you are a beginner, you can start with this. It will build your confidence, it will boost you that yeah, I can do this, is an achievement for me. And you can proceed with other exams. It's a beginner level, MCQ based, easy. So I would recommend, if you have not started with Kubernetes, then you will start with it. Will just an introduction of Kubernetes, cloud and bit security a bit, and Docker, these all things you can start with it. Okay. Now the second one certification is CKAD. So it is a hands-on based certification exam, 2 hours duration. Okay, and you will get clusters, different clusters, and you have to switch your context before appearing any attempting any question. So don't forget to switch your context before attempting any question. So practice is the key, and you will get ample amount of time to finish your exam. But it's not like ample, I mean to say, if you are slow at the beginning, even though you would be able to uh, attempt all the questions correctly, though you haven't make any mistakes while during your exam. So but I would not recommend you make mistakes. If it is make some mistake, try to fix it as soon as possible. Okay, and practice much as you can. Try to create your own scenarios, make yourself comfortable with all the manifest files, resources, uh, you can how you can utilize Google Kubernetes certification resources or Kubernetes official website. Okay, copy and paste uh, the required resources from the examples, or you can copy a specific chunk that is required instead of copying the entire content from the doc. Okay, so and create, as I have already mentioned, create your own cluster, play with it, and practice as much as you can. And yeah, please, if you are going following any instructor's course, don't copy and paste. So it's really easy if you are good at it. Time is the key during your exam. So these, it is a basic level, so you can go for it in the second certification. Okay, now the third one is CKA. So it is really tough. I would not say it nobody can do it, but you have to invest a lot of time, because the content or the course is very huge. You have to remember a lot of things, and course syllabus is very high. And until and unless it is all about administrating an entire Kubernetes cluster. Okay, so you have to work with the control plane components as well. You have to take the backup of the cluster, you have to restore the cluster, you have to upgrade the cluster. So here I would highly recommend provision a Kubernetes cluster using kubedium. So it will, if you are working in this way, it would be really helpful. You are familiar with each and every component of the Kubernetes. Okay, if you are going with some cloud service, so over there you will not get access to control plane nodes, and might be you will not able to get work on control plane nodes. So I would recommend you can install VirtualBox on your system, and then you can create at least two machines, one worker and one master node, and then try to install or deploy Kubernetes cluster using it. Okay, and then again, time is the key. If you make mistakes during your exam, you won't be able to clear the exam. Okay, I'm not committing this, it's your luck. But if you making mistakes, because at least 16 to 17 or sometime 19 questions are there during the exam, and you have only 2 hours. If you are struggling with this, and questions are a bit lengthy as well, they are asking for multiple things within a single questions. If you are not fast enough, you won't be able to attempt all the questions. And if you have made some errors and investing your time to fix those errors, you will lose the times. Okay, don't forget to change the context. Highly recommended, please don't forget to change the context while appearing for any of the question. Make sure you have changed the context. Okay, it's easy. Directly click on the context, it will be copied and you paste on your terminal. Okay, it will be, then you will, your context would be changed, and then start with your question. Don't spend much time on a single question. If you are utilizing more time on a single question, you won't be able to attempt other questions. Flag it, move on. Okay, use the flag feature. It is really easy. Once you are done with your all the questions, at least till the end of the questions, then you can use your flags to revisit, and then you can expand on your time, prioritize which one you can done quickly, because at the end of the exam we have less time. So I would recommend flag it and take your voice decision which one you should start, and within the minimal time which question you can complete. Okay, and once you are done with your question, verify the question that you have attempted. Let's say you have to create a secret, and then you have to mount it into a pod, and then you have to apply the manifest file. So here three steps were included. First is create a secret, then mount it as a volume in a pod, and apply the manifest file. So you can quickly, using your kubectl command, you can check, you can verify kubectl get secret, whether secret is created or not. Then you can check your pod is available or not, and then if you want to describe, you can describe the pod and look for the name of the volume which was mentioned to okay, which was mentioned. You can in this way, and don't try to type the name of the resources. Directly copy and paste from the question. Okay, it would be really helpful, though you know the spelling as well. But by mistake, if you make any spelling mistakes, then it will, at least you will lose your 1 minute and few seconds while you are typing. But copy and pasting, I would recommend, it would be easy. Okay, now take backup of your Kube API server. This is, you can make as a good practice. You can follow at the beginning. You take a backup of your Kube API server, and if in case in question it is mentioned you have to update this specific pod, take a backup of it and then edit it. Okay, at least if you committed, if you did something wrong, you can, at least you can create the pod back. Might be, let's say if it is a question of network policy where this specific pod is dependent on other pods as well, then your entire question will be ruined. Okay, so don't do this. Take a backup of it. It could be any resource. I have just added few of the examples. It could be a secret, it could be a config map, it could be a pod deployment daemon set, anything. Make a habit to make a backup of it. And once you are done with your question, make sure your Kube API server is up and running. This is only for those questions where we have to work on some Kube API server related. Let's say you have upgraded your cluster, and there is some Kube API related authentication, authorization related, and related, where we have to work with the Kube API manifest file. So over there, please check whether my kube api server is up and running. Simply you can execute a command kubectl get pod or get ns. So in the within fractions of seconds you can verify your kube api service is up and running. And as I mentioned, syllabus is long, so you have to be very consistent while you are practicing. Might be if you are taking long time for appearing the exam, you lose the topics that you have covered at the beginning. And so make a consistency for it, follow the curriculum, and then make and practice as much as you can. But personally, CKA has the widest syllabus, lots of contents you have to cover, so lots of practice and time is required. Okay, now let me come to CKS. So in CKS, it is hands-on, 20 minutes duration, 120-minute duration, 2 hours. 15 16 to 17 or 19 questions could be there, depends on your exam. So again, most of the things are that I have already shared are related to the CKA only. They are belongs to CKA. But here good thing is the syllabus and the content for CKS is less. That is really good. But make sure you practice enough because the questions are a bit lengthy. Though syllabus is less, but the questions are lengthy. You have to just solve a specific questions. You have to work on it. Might be you have to work on 3 different Kubernetes resources. So practice is the key for this, and your speed and accuracy. If you made some mistakes, again you will lose the time. Flag it, move again, move ahead, come later on. So these are the about the CKS. Okay, so it's easy if you have done your practice enough. It would be really a piece of cake for you, so that you can make within the first attempt you can clear it. Okay, and I recently appeared in the month of February, so I have completed or cleared my CKS certification twice during my entire journey. Okay, so it was expired because it is valid only for 2 years, and your CKA certification is valid for 3 years. And you can directly appear for CKS. It is a prerequisite that you must have CKA certification, then only you can appear for CKS certifications. Make sure don't prepare blindly. First, if you are going for CKS, you have to crack the CKA certifications. So it is a prerequisite. So CKS is valid for 2 years only. Okay. Now this is KCSA. Okay. So this is the, I would say, uh, you can say it is tough. In the sense, tough is it is because the less content is available for KCSA. It is on over the internet. No specific are also available from any one of them. Even while I was preparing for it, I have cleared it on 3rd of July. Okay, so even I tried for some courses, but they are not available. So but I will add the content for KCSA in my comments description of this video. Okay, you can get the content from here. And this is all about all the certifications that you have covered. So it's kind of mix of it. It also include Docker, some Podman related, some cloud related best practices. Mostly it will focus on the security part as well. Okay, so inside the Kubernetes official documentation, really a entire section is available regarding security. Okay, secrets, go through it. At least it have 10 content, 10 topics or 10 links. So you have to follow each and everything very nice, very carefully. It could be anything, and it is MCQ. So mostly the questions or answers are, you seems like you will be confused between two of the questions easily. So over there, while you are appearing for this exam, try to eliminate the options. And among you will, in some scenarios you will be in such a situation where two answers are like almost correct, but you have to be very uh, concise about while you are selecting any of them. And 75 marks are required for this examination. If you are getting or scored marks less than 75, you would be fail. And yeah, it you have also one retake for this exam, and it it is 1 year of validation once you have booked for or for the exam. Within the exam, within the 1 year, you have to appear for the exam, and one retake is available. So resources are less, but it is not like it is not feasible. Alhamdulillah, I was able to clear in my first attempt. But I am working with Kubernetes since last 5 years, so it was easy for me. Though I didn't get enough content for this specific certification on web or internet. I have just used the Kubernetes certifications and OWASP 10 practices. There are something related to it. You should go for it. And I will share more content on my channel. And you can ping me on LinkedIn if you want, and I will create a post as well. And you can follow someone who have posted their content on the LinkedIn as well. I will not recommend that you just stick to my content. Might they have provided some more content which could be easy for you, and might I have not covered during my this session. So that's all about my side. I tried my best to uh, give a good session. So I believe you enjoy the session. If something I missed, you can let me know in the comment. I will try to add. Okay. Thank you guys. I can tag a few of the questions. Any questions you can. Could you please share some resources from where we can prepare for this? Sure, Dheeraj, I will share. I will add in the description for this. You can check and follow along. Anything else? Else we are good to close this. Once again, thanks everyone for joining this session and your valuable time. Next time, I will try my best to deliver more content with proper slides. If my slides were not good, really apologize for that. Okay, guys, then I'm taking this silence as a no. Okay, so I believe we are good to close this. I have, okay. Dheeraj is asking, I have 1 year of experience in development. Can I also clear? Yes, yes, you can definitely. It's really the content are available are really easy, and it's all about practice. If you are investing your time on practicing and hands-on, anybody can do it. If whether you are a developer, if you belong to a DevOps engineer, you are a fresher, or you are experienced, anybody can do it. Okay. As Patil is asking, Jenkins, any resource to follow? Yeah, for Jenkins, you can follow its official documentation. Really, this is very good content. They have provided good examples as well. You can follow there. Okay, and I will. You can ping me personally. I can share more content. I will look into it. Okay. Okay. So I believe we are good to close this call. Thanks once again. Thanks, Dheeraj Patil, and you can reach out me anytime. I would try my best to answer your queries. Okay, it's not like that this session is the only one. I can train anyone who is interested one on one as well. Okay, you can reach out me on LinkedIn. I will We can decide or discuss over there as per your availability and ease. You can reach out me for your questions, your queries, and if you are struggling with any of the Kubernetes resource. Okay, it could be anything. If you are struggling with Kubernetes cluster provision, even then you can reach out me. I'm happy to help you. Okay. Okay. Thanks. Okay. Thanks, Dheeraj. Thanks, Sai Patil. Okay, bro. Have a good night.